This is Inside Indiana Business, radio on demand for the morning of March 9th, 2023. I'm Wes Mills. Governor Eric Holcomb says the toxic waste being shipped from the East Palestine, Ohio train derailment to Indiana does not contain any harmful levels of dioxins when compared to EPA's acceptable levels. Last week, he ordered a third-party lab to analyze the hazardous material. Holcomb says the Putnam County landfill is authorized to accept the waste. The state says additional tests will be conducted. An Indiana University-affiliated startup says it has developed a blood test for anxiety. Indianapolis-based MindX says the test examines biomarkers that can help determine someone's risk for developing anxiety, the severity of the case, and which therapies would offer the best treatment. IU School of Medicine professor of psychiatry, Dr. Alexander Nicolescu, says many people are suffering from anxiety, which can be very disabling and interfere with daily life.
Traditionally, anxiety disorders used to be considered a little bit less serious, and I think wrongly so, less serious than, let's say, bipolar disorder or schizophrenia or other quote-unquote major psychiatric disorders. But they can be very disabling, they can be very impairing, interfering with daily life.
Nicolescu says it's important to determine which drug therapies are best for the patient, as some medications can be addictive and create more problems. Previous research conducted by Nicolescu has led to the development of blood tests for pain, depression, bipolar disorder, and post-traumatic stress disorder. Indiana University and the Irsay family will today formally introduce the new Irsay Institute on the Bloomington campus. The institute aims to foster collaboration in research, training, and institutional social change to address mental health challenges. The institute was established in December 2021 with a $3 million gift from the Irsay family, owners of the Indianapolis Colts. The Fort Wayne Philharmonic says it has reached a tentative agreement with the Fort Wayne Musicians Association. The 4-year agreement gives musicians their first wage increase since 2019. Still to come, an Indiana county could be considered a hotel desert. We'll tell you about a unique way to address the problem. Details when Inside Indiana Business Radio on Demand for Thursday, March 9th returns in 30 seconds.
Get ready, Southwest Indiana. We're headed your way. IBJ Media, Inside Indiana Business, and the Indiana Economic Development Corporation invite you to the second annual Engage Southwest Indiana event presented by Indiana University and Old National Bank, Tuesday, April 11th at the Old National Events Plaza in Evansville. We'll be diving into regional and statewide initiatives with a focus on talent, education, and issues shaping our economy. It's all about advancing the future of Indiana. More at ibj.com/engage.
California-based electric vehicle maker Mullen Automotive has received approval from NASDAQ for a 180-day extension to meet the stock market's $1 minimum bid price requirement. The manufacturer, which has a factory in St. Joseph County, is facing delisting after its stock fell below $1 last July. The stock exchange originally gave Mullen until Monday to get the stock price higher. It now extended the deadline another 6 months. Mullen acquired the assets of Michigan-based Electric Glass Mount Solutions out of bankruptcy last year. To boost travel accommodations in the Stark County city of Knox, economic development officials are using a relatively new investment tool in hotel development. The Stark County Economic Development Foundation has launched a crowdfunding campaign to help bring a mid-scale, mid-size hotel to the city of 3,700. It hopes to raise $200,000 towards a 50 to 60-bed name-brand hotel. Economic development official Lisa Dan says there are no franchise hotels in Stark County. She also says there are no hotels on US 35 between the port and Logansport. Dan says the lack of hotel rooms limits her ability to attract new business and makes it difficult for current businesses to host out-of-town visitors. More than 1,500 Division I college swimmers, coaches, and fans will be in downtown Elkhart this weekend for the 2023 National Invitational Championship. Inside Indiana Business reporter Alex Brown has details.
The event, which starts today, will be held at the Elkhart Health and Aquatic Center and is hosted by the College Swimming and Diving Coaches Association of America. The swimming and diving competition provides a late winter economic boost for the community. The Elkhart County Convention and Visitors Bureau says the competition had an economic impact of approximately $600,000 for the 3-day event last year. But the agency says that number could be higher this year as the 2022 event had limited capacity at the venue because of COVID precautions. The CVB says last year's competition also represented 2,000 hotel room nights. Ohio State University won the women's team competition in 2022, while Tennessee finished first in the men's team standings. Alex Brown, Inside Indiana Business Radio.
Indiana Secretary of Commerce Brad Chambers will lead a delegation next week on an economic development trip to Asia, where he'll promote Indiana's growing battery, electric vehicle, and semiconductor industries. The Indiana Economic Development Corporation says Chambers will meet with government officials and business leaders in Japan and take part in a battery industry conference in South Korea. I'm Wes Mills, Inside Indiana Business, Radio on Demand.